We are seeing a bit of movement in the polls in South Carolina. We have brand new Fox News poll numbers just out seconds ago, literally. Donald Trump losing a little bit of steam after the latest debate. Senator Ted Cruz made a little bit of headway among Republican primary voters. We're going to show you all the numbers in just a second as we welcome you to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Martha McCallum.
And I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. Primary 48 hours from now. Here are the numbers from the latest Fox News polling. Trump maintains his lead. He's at 32% in that state. That's down 3 points from December, down from 35%. Ted Cruz, 19%. That is up 5. He was at 14% back in December. Senator Marco Rubio up a point from 14 to 15. Ben Carson, Jeb Bush tied in fourth with 9% each. And Governor Kasich from Ohio at 6%.
Lots to talk about here. Bret Baier anchors special report and our election coverage as we cover this over the weekend as well, of course. Brett, good to see you this morning. Welcome.
Hey, Martha. Good morning.
So, digging into these, I want to pull up, we showed everybody the headline number there, but let's go right to this white evangelical number, which I think is also very interesting, so we can get everybody a look at some of the other numbers that are coming in here. Trump is at 31%. He fell 3% since December when he was at 34%. Ted Cruz picked up a lot of that evangelical vote. He went from 15% in December to 23% in December. What do you make of that move, Brett?
Well, first of all, Trump has been under attack by Ted Cruz on the airwaves for his past abortion stance and what he's said in the past about that. So the fact that he still has this significant lead is just that, significant. It is notable that he is still very strong in all of the categories in this poll in South Carolina. Now, Ted Cruz is clearly in second, but it seems like, and according to this poll and other polls, it is starting to become a three-person race, potentially, with Trump and Cruz and Rubio. Yeah. What's notable is Jeb Bush in this poll, down low. Also, the fact that Carson is hanging around at 9%. He is still performing pretty well in South Carolina.
Yeah, but just to hit on Carson for just a second and to, hit on the numbers that he has in that evangelical number that we just showed, from December to now, he went from 18% with evangelicals in South Carolina and now down to 7%. So we may have seen some migration of the evangelical vote away from Ben Carson, and it's scattered, it looks, throughout, with some positive moves up for Bush, Rubio, and Cruz that may be sort of spreading some of that out. Let's take a look at this other one that came in this morning just moments ago as well. Candidate you would never support. Let's put that one up on the board and get Brett to weigh in. 39% would never support Donald Trump. 21% would never support Jeb Bush. That's a tough number for him, given what's at stake in South Carolina, Brett.
Yeah, especially in South Carolina, where the Bush name goes a long way, where George W. Bush was just there over the past couple of days campaigning for his brother. And George W. Bush has an approval rating of 84% in South Carolina. So the fact that 21% say they'd never vote for Jeb Bush is not a good number. 39% is not a good number for Donald Trump. But he is consolidating this anti-establishment, anti-Washington vote that has determined that I think no matter what he says or how he performs in debates, that he so far is the vehicle that is going to take them to this message of shake it up in Washington.
Yeah, it absolutely looks that way. Everybody wondered if there would be debate damage and fallout from that raucous debate last Saturday night in South Carolina. And it's interesting to see in this candidate that you would never support number that Trump was at 24% in December. You would never support. Now, after post-debate, he's at 39%. Is there anything to be drawn from that?
Well, I do think debates matter. I do think that how those candidates perform on the stage matters. But it's also the fact that, there have been a lot of negative ads run in South Carolina and across the board. So candidates start to take on water from that as well. Trump already had high negatives, unfave numbers before all of those negative ads. So I'm assuming that he's going to pick up a few more points there. But the fact that he still has this really big lead is a big deal in South Carolina.
I mean, it's definitely the headline. Trump is far and away the strongest player out there, and the numbers look very much like they looked in New Hampshire, and we saw those numbers bear out. One other one I want to put up here for people to just get a look at, and we're going to talk about these more later. Attacked another candidate unfairly. Trump at 47%, Cruz at 28%, and the numbers go down from there. This has been vicious, really, between these two guys, and it seems to be, it seems to have impact with voters when they answered this question.
Yeah, and I think you saw Cruz yesterday making almost a legal argument about point by point why Donald Trump should go ahead and sue if he wants to sue over defamation of this ad that Cruz is running using Donald Trump's own words. I think Cruz is trying to push back hard, and I think it'll get uglier before Saturday. One thing to point out is that NBC Wall Street Journal poll that shows Cruz ahead by 2, there have been a few other national polls since then, and this South Carolina poll, we may be looking at an outlier there. We'll see.
Yeah, and 25% of those in the Fox poll who were asked said that they could still change their mind about who they're going to vote for, so they're down to the wire.
And we have national polls tonight at 6 p.m. on Special Report.
Exactly, and we can't wait to see those on Special Report tonight as well. Brett, thank you so much. We'll see you there.
We'll see you.